This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. I'm your host, Josh, and today's game will be pitting the Benchwarmer team of David and Eid versus Benchwarmer Walling and returning player and host of the BTP tournament, Ryan Meyers. Welcome back to the bench, Ryan.
Hey, been a minute. I'd probably about a little under 2 years, so excited to be back and playing. The imposter syndrome's already set in, and I'm excited.
Well, anything can happen. Every once in a while, Eid loses, and less frequently David loses, but hey, Scott and I beat Eid once, so...
It's either going to be a David versus Goliath showdown, or they're going to be really mean and beat us up badly, and everyone's going to hate them, so it's win-win for us.
Oh, there you go. That is a good way to look at it. Well, once again, welcome back to the bench. Walling, how are you, sir? And let us know what your and Ryan's team name is going to be today.
I'm having some nostalgia about my tournament life, as everyone involved with it is on this recording now. The host, the two people I beat, and the guy who was nice enough not to kill me in the semifinal. but who could remember boxing movie names better than I could. Although, Ryan, I still think the Rocky V, The Undiscovered Country was up for an Oscar.
The most underrated one. When Rocky, in Rocky IV, The Voyage Home, when he has to get the whales.
Yes. Yeah. He runs on the beach dragging a whale. I think that's how it works. And yeah, so after the last tournament game that I was in, Ryan and I exchanged some mutual love for yacht rock, and got down a yacht rock rabbit hole with Margarita, which I've been listening to quite a bit now. But because of this and because of the football game today, we just needed to make a declarative statement. And so our team name today is going to be Michael McDonald is greater than Michael McDaniel.
It's a fact.
Not greater than or equal to, just greater than?
No, there's no underline on that.
Okay.
That alligator mouth.
All right. Fair enough. David, sir, it's been a while. You've had a longer vacation than I think some of the rest of us. So how are you, sir?
I'm very good. It feels like a long time because we didn't record through the holidays, and then I wasn't on the first recording that came out after the new year. I'm a little bit nervous tonight because I'm playing with Eric, so there's Eric Eid. There's additional pressure there. Plus, you
said it wrong twice.
What was I supposed to say?
Just Eid.
Just Eid. Well, I'm a little bit nervous because I gave Eid permission to come up with our team name, and so I'm living a little bit on the edge here, waiting to hear what this is. So I don't even know. Here we go.
All right, Eid, how are you, sir? And what is your and David's team name?
I'm good. We were talking before this, so I'm still a little upset. I did not know that we weren't doing this for we didn't get anything when we win, so I'm a little just still trying to handle that. So I have David and I have never teamed up, or have we?
No, we have once.
We have once,
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get to team with Dan once in a while, and we always have some inappropriate names. So David and I's team name today, since it could be worse than when Dan and I team up. So our team name today, what's worse than herpes?
I was saying a lot of stuff.
We'll find out. I have a huge list.
Good, because I'm going to be asking that question a bunch today, apparently.
Odell Beckham on a plane.
Ooh, so we have Michael McDonald is greater than Michael McDaniel versus what's worse than herpes?
So if you say that the other way around, what's worse than herpes, and follow with Michael McDonald, that's correct.
How dare you?
Sir.
Michael McDonald didn't sing his heart out on Christopher Cross's hit song Ride Like the Wind for you to treat him like that.
I don't think anybody's heard the name Christopher Cross since that happened.
You have been in the wrong household, sir. We've got the record in the other room.
We are going to get a lot of hate mail now from all the yacht rock fans.
Academy Award winner Christopher Cross, mind you. And then his brief foray into hip hop in the 90s when he just went by Criss Cross and did that song Jump.
I want to point out though, when you can go to those websites and see what song was number 1 on the day you were born. Christopher Cross, the Arthur theme was mine. So
Wow.
Which means it was also mine.
Yes.
Well, with all this wonderful yacht rock talk, let's kick it on over to Dan for the rules.
We'll be starting off with the tailgate to warm up the teams. This will be followed by 4 quarters of play, each with a different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions pertaining to sports. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from the points they've accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
Dan, not worse than herpes.
I think we would all agree with that statement.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Okay, so today's first quarter will be sporting haikus.
Sporting haikus. For this quarter, there will be 4 questions in haiku form. Each question is worth 25 points.
Sporting haikus, worse than herpes.
That I don't agree with.
Bombeck would tell you that my sporting haiku.
Well, now, actually, your last foray was better. It actually flowed like sentences.
That's because in the back of my head, every time I wrote one, I could just hear you going, oh, God.
You didn't want to hear my sighs
I
and
know, I
rolling
was like,
eyes.
have to keep Josh off my back.
Okay, question 1 in sporting haikus. A 2-time All-Pro. First tight end to lead in Yak. A 5th-round draft pick.
I feel like I don't need to be here. It's a tight end question.
100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he a 5th?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, check it in.
We're checked in.
Okay, what's worse than herpes has checked in. Michael McDonald is greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys can talk it out.
That was your yak.
I mean, things that come to mind are Gronk or Shannon Sharp, but I don't think it would be Sharp.
No.
Football's the worst sport.
I can't remember if Goddard was a 5th round or a 4th round pick, but he was another name that I just remember him being like the Cowboys skipped on him in like the mid rounds, and then he made it a point to.
I'll just defer to you. I'm so bad at rounds. Drafts are just not my thing. I'm no Marcus Ellis master of drafts.
Or Eric Eid. Just because 5th round seems to stick with me, I kind of like Dallas Goedert with this one. So if you're good with that,
Lock it.
I'll do it. I'll check in with Dallas Goedert.
Okay, and what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have?
So I refer to my med knowledge for this. When they started coming out with like these superstar like icon things, the tight end that has the run after the catch one is a 5th round pick, and I believe it's a 2-time All Pro. So I went with that. And I said 100%. It was more like 80. But we're going to go with George Kittle.
Oh.
Okay, one team will be getting points. The correct answer is George Kittle.
Well done.
And Kittle set a career high in touchdown receptions this season with 11.
Good job, George Kittle.
Proud of you, bud.
Okay. Question 2. 5 straight Olympics, 1 gold and 1 bronze medal. U.S. curling skip.
Skip Bayless?
No.
No. All right.
No.
Sorry.
That guy's an FTG.
And worse than herpes. So,
Oh, yes.
no, I got nothing. I don't even know what he's asking. That's directed at David.
I just asked a question about curling, and I'm trying to remember that guy's name. Hold on a second. I can get this. It's him.
I have a first name, and I am trying to pull the last name.
Ed, if you have no idea, I just remember the name of the guy that I asked a question about recently, and if it's not him, I have no effing clue. So I'm happy to check in with that if you want.
We're gonna check it.
Oh my gosh.
All right. McDonald greater than McDaniel has checked in. What's worse than herpes? You guys can let me know.
This question?
So fairly recently, I asked a question in a fourth quarter about the 2018, I guess it must have been Mira Curl on ice, because when a huge upset, they beat whoever it was, Canada, whoever's good at curling. And the guy's name was John Schuster. I feel like that guy is about 40. And so that would mean that he conceivably could have been in 5 Olympics. I don't think he won a gold until that particular one. So I think it could be him. But if you have a better idea, tell me.
No, I just assumed at 40 that was your rookie year at curling. So I don't know.
No, that's shuffleboard. That's when they switched curling to shuffleboard.
I just assumed my knees can't take sports anymore. So let me try curling.
Right.
But I guess your knees got to bend there too. So I don't know. Yeah, go with it. I get less than nothing. So.
Okay. We're going to check in with John Schuster.
Okay. And McDonald greater than McDaniel. What'd you guys have?
So this morning, as I was taking my morning constitutional and scrolling Instagram, I came across a video of this guy using his gold medal as a ball marker in like a pro-am. And that's probably the only reason I remembered his name. But we checked in with John Schuster.
Both teams will be getting points because the correct answer is John Schuster. And Schuster belongs to the Duluth Curling Club in Duluth, Minnesota.
Rich heritage.
For curling, actually, it is.
Just you wait. They're opening a curling thing around here. And when Independence, Missouri gets its hands on curling.
Oh, you're in Indy. I love that. That's where my sister's gay best friend lives, and he's a train wreck. So
it is a interesting people watching experience in Indy.
All right, let's move on to question number 3. German footballer, Bayern Munich midfielder, most decorated. Where's Matt Doherty when you need him, huh?
German footballer.
Isn't that implied by the fact he played for Bayern Munich?
Not. Oh, yeah, because Robert Lewandowski sounds German.
Fair point.
Define the word most.
Not least.
Okay. Narrows it down a little bit more.
Has the most decorations.
Oh, what holiday?
Soccer winnings.
Pretzel day.
The soccer winning things.
Lots of trophies.
All right. David, we're good with it. And I think what you're saying that you thought he was that, it's very easily confused. So that's fine.
Okay.
I think I know what David is thinking. So, but we can talk about that afterwards, maybe.
Go ahead. We're going to check in.
We'll check in.
Okay. What's worse than herpes is checked in. McDonald, McDaniel.
Did we not check in?
I guess. Well, they were talking, and I was just waiting for a way in, but we were ready.
You guys. Well, if you guys have your answer, you can just give me your answer. Then we can just.
Well, we were stuck between Bastian Schweinsteiger and Thomas Mueller, and I think we ended up going with Thomas Mueller because we think he's been around maybe a hair longer during their Super Bundesliga success. So we said Mueller.
Okay. And what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have besides herpes?
I just want to say that I have not heard Schweinsteiger's name in quite some time, and there's nothing better than playing FIFA when he was on there and hearing the announcer freak out saying his name. It was, yeah. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I didn't have much to contribute here, but I said I threw out Mueller's name as well, but then I said I know he's German, but I felt like he was a striker, not a midfielder, and so that was what was giving me pause.
He's an attacking midfielder, so it's easily
could make sense. Sure,
tit for tit.
Exactly. Mueller, anyone? So yeah, we checked in with Mueller.
Well, the answer was not Braunschweiger or whoever you said.
Goldschlager? Thomas Goldschlager?
Or Goldschlager.
Yeah.
But both teams will be getting points because the correct answer is Thomas Mueller. Mueller has 32 trophies in his career and holds the record for the most assists given in the Bundesliga with 152.
But how many are participation trophies?
I think none of those are participation trophies.
All right.
So David, Eric hit it on the head there. He most typically is playing an attacking midfielder position.
Ah,
He has played in the forward line at times, but most typically in their scheme of offense, he's an attacking midfielder.
got it. See, that's a subtle thing. I wouldn't have known that. But cool. Awesome.
Well, now you do.
Now I do. Yes.
All right. Let's move on to question 4 in Sporting Haikus. U of New Hampshire, 2nd overall draft pick, a Philly Flyer.
Is it Mark Grenier?
Oh, hi, Mark.
There's this tendency when you play with E to like get things like hockey questions and want to sit back with your feet up on your desk.
That's usually the correct approach.
Right.
I can't tell if he's just slow playing us or if he really isn't sure on the answer yet.
It's
I guess I try to throw in a hockey question, and I'm maybe going to stump the hockey guy.
I'm not big on their colleges normally.
Colleges for like hockey and baseball are just
That was kind of that wasn't the biggest part of the clue.
Oh, all right.
I mean, you're a draft guy. I thought maybe you were also a hockey draft guy. Maybe not.
Oh, number 2. Hold on.
Oh, he didn't read the question. Sorry.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that's part of the responsibilities of teaming with Ede is that I have to remind him to read the question.
Thank you, David.
Sorry.
Yeah, David, you get the assist through me on that one.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
I don't know where he went to college.
I can tell you there's only one hockey player that I know of that went to New Hampshire, and it's not the answer to this question.
I don't know if he even went to college. He was 2nd overall, so world check-in.
Oh, wow.
All right. What's worse than herpes is checked in. Michael McDonald's greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys can talk it out.
I mean, these have all been contemporary people, so if it's contemporary hockey with college, that's beyond me.
It's not Ron Hextall or
It's going to be Ron Hextall, Bobby Clark, or
Jeremy Roenick.
Lindros.
Oh, Eric Lindros. Yeah, I'm thinking of him too. Was Lindros number 2? Oh, he was number 1, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's going to be Ron Hextall.
Go with Ron Hextall.
This is some no name to me, which is, of course, as we know, the only form of relevance that matters. So.
It's not in my Rolodex either, so I think we're good.
Yeah, we'll lock in with Ron Hextall.
Okay, and what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have?
So I don't know. I didn't think he played college, so this makes me a little uneasy, but he was a 2nd overall pick and he was a Flyer. We're going with Nolan Patrick, or we'll just say Patrick. I think his first name's Nolan, but we'll just say Patrick to be safe.
Oh, well, no points will be awarded for this question. The correct answer is James Van Riemsdyk.
Oh, you went back that far.
Sure.
Went back that far. He still plays.
Yes, but...
And he's back with the Flyers again.
Yeah, but you're like, when was he drafted? Like over 10 years ago.
Well, sure, but
that's what I'm saying. I'm going more recent. Never mind.
So, by the way, he was drafted 2nd in whichever, 07 or 08 or wherever. The first pick was also an American, Patrick Kane. How often is it that the first 2 picks in the NHL draft are Americans? I can't imagine that happens very often.
It was the golden years. Eric Johnson went first another year. They had a few good ones, and then...
Well, but to take the first 2 slots, that's pretty
True.
impressive. Okay, well, after the first quarter, we have the following scores. Michael McDonald's greater than Michael McDaniel is at 50, and what's worse than herpes? Well, their score isn't. It's 75.
Before we get to the first quarter, we wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
Today's second quarter will be Flop, Turn, and River.
Flop, Turn, and River. For this quarter, there will be 3 questions consisting of 5 clues. The first 3 clues will be given before the teams decide if they want to check in with their guess. The last 2 clues will be given one at a time, with teams deciding if they want to check in with their guess after each subsequent clue. If a correct answer is checked in after the first 3 clues, the team will receive 50 points. After the 4th clue, 30, and after the 5th clue, 20.
Question number 1 in Flop, Turn, and River. Who am I? Clue 1. I am a 3-time NBA champion. Clue 2. I was named NBA Finals MVP for one of my championships. Clue 3. I won an NCAA national championship.
Are we going to lock in?
Yeah, we're gonna check in.
Locked in.
Ooh. All right. Michael McDonald's greater than Michael McDaniel has checked in. So what's worse than herpes? You guys can give me your answer or take another clue. You can talk
we both thought it was James Worthy, and my only question was, I feel like 3-time NBA champion that won a Finals MVP and also an NCAA championship should be more than one person.
Well, but see, that's what I'm saying. So names that occurred to me. So Isaiah Thomas only won 2 NBA titles. He won at Indiana, and he won at Indiana University, but then he won 2 titles with the Pistons, and that's all I could think of.
Did he win a Finals MVP?
Yes, but he only won 2 NBA titles. This has to be somebody who won exactly 3.
Yeah. So
right.
Tony Kukoc did not go to college. So
right. Michael Jordan won 6 titles and he won the MVP, I think, at all 6.
Scottie Pippen, not a Finals MVP.
Correct. Also, certainly didn't win in college.
You sure? Are you sure?
Central Arkansas.
They were historic.
I mean, LeBron, Durant didn't win in college.
LeBron's won. Oh, geez. Durant hasn't won. Has he won 3? Durant's not at 3, is he?
Well, either way, I think he was MVP twice, so I don't think that would count. Tony Parker was in Europe.
Oh my God. How long are you guys going to talk this thing out?
We have it. We're not getting off of it. You're not getting off James Worthy.
All right. All right. We will go with Tar Heel great James Worthy.
Okay. And Michael McDonald greater than Michael McDaniel. What did you guys have?
I know. We thought of James Worthy immediately. He won a title in '82 at UNC, which would have put him at the other 3 times the Lakers won at the end of the decade, and he memorably got that MVP there at the end. So who else could it be?
Well, that's you're checking in with Worthy as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go through clues 4 and 5 anyway, and see if that gives the answer to say yes, you're both correct, or no, you're wrong. Clue number 4. I was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2003. And clue number 5, my number 52 was retired by North Carolina, and my number 42 was retired by the Lakers.
Yeah.
Both teams are getting 50 points because the correct answer is James Worthy. 2 others have won 3 NBA championships and 1 Finals MVP, and they are Dennis Johnson and Dwayne Wade. And 2 others won 3 NBA championships and an NCAA championship. That would be Clyde Lavalette and Danny Green.
Kansas legend Clyde Lavalette.
Who they obviously were not Finals MVPs. Neither of them were. So
one quick random thing about James Worthy. When he was in college, Dean Smith had a pretty strict rule that you could not grow beards. I'm not sure why. It just wasn't considered kempt or whatever. Worthy had terrible face acne, and so he gave him special permission to grow a beard, which is why he had the beard.
Aww.
So he was, yeah.
Well, it's nice that he at least had
Dean Smith,
exception.
acne humanitarian.
Same thing with that garbage Yankees dress code deal. They're like, it instills discipline. No, it doesn't. Shut up.
It just looks nice with pinstripes.
All right, let's move on to question 2. Another, who am I? Clue number 1. I won 1 World Series championship and 1 National League Cy Young Award. Clue 2. I never won the pitching Triple Crown. Clue number 3. I was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2015.
Got me on this. I'm not going to really be much help on this.
I think this one's my wheelhouse. I should be able to get this one without you. Consider this payback for the hockey.
He didn't get the hockey one right.
Well, then this is payback. I don't have to get it right then.
Once again, just a reminder, there are more clues. If you're not sure.
I think that's good. I think that's good.
So
That just feels right.
yeah, I was thinking. I was going back through. Yeah, and the other ones don't have somebody that seems to fit, especially because the other ones are all these.
We're going to check in.
Okay, what's worse than herpes is checked in. Michael McDonald's greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys can talk it out here a bit. If you want to check in, you can, or you can let me know if you need another clue.
I think we will talk it out and then check in with our process. So we sat here and we thought about it, and I said 2015 means he would have had a predominant career around the 90s and 2000s. And Walling said maybe Greg Maddux, and I said no, he definitely won a ton of Cy Youngs. I think several in a row, or no, he did that thing where it was like every other year in the 90s, I think. But saying that specifically with the Braves brought John Smoltz. But yeah, no, we went with John Smoltz because Walling mentioned Maddux. Maddux has definitely won a lot of Cy Youngs, but Smoltz has definitely only won one, and the Braves only won once in '95 with that big core. Glavin's won a few, and Steve Avery never won, so I think we're locking in there.
Yep, I'm good with it. Josh, we can't hear you either.
I was just saying, officially give me your check-in.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We'll check in with John Smoltz.
Thank you very much. And what's worse than herpes? As a solo venture by David right now, what did you come up with for your answer?
So I think 2015 was, so I went at it a slightly different way. I think 2015 was that year where Big Unit, Pedro, and Smoltz all got inducted at the same time. Pedro definitely won a Triple Crown, so I knew it wasn't him. And Randy Johnson won like 4 or 5 straight Cy Youngs also, I think, all in the National League with the Diamondbacks. So I, from sort of the opposite angle, came to John Smoltz and checked in with that.
Okay, well, let's go through the other clues and see where we land. Clue number 4, I won the National League Rolaids Relief Man Award in 2002. And clue 5, my number 29 was retired by the Atlanta Braves.
Oh,
Both
cool.
teams, again, getting 50 points because the correct answer is John Smoltz. You are correct, David. 2 other pitchers were inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2015. Randy Johnson, who's a 3-time National League Cy Young winner, and Pedro Martinez, who was a 1-time National League Cy Young winner, both of whom won 1 World Series, but also they both won a pitching Triple Crown. All right, let's move on to question 3. Another, who am I? Clue number 1. I was a first overall pick in the NFL draft.
Oof.
Clue number 2.
Oh.
I won an NFL Comeback Player of the Year award. Clue number 3. I played for only one franchise.
Damn it.
You and I were thinking.
It would have been too easy. It would have been too easy. That's got to be it, David.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he win the
Yeah, I'm good with it, Ryan.
Oh, I guess it would make sense.
Okay. Yacht Rock Collective is checking in.
All right. McDonald greater than McDaniel's checked in. What's worse than herpes? You guys can talk it out. Either give me an answer or ask for another clue.
Well,
For first overall picks to win the award, there's not many. Alex Smith, Michael Vick
yeah,
didn't play for one franchise.
that's correct.
Then you have Joe Burrow.
Yeah, but he's still playing. He wrote
Correct.
this. He said, I played for only one franchise. Now,
Yeah,
he's playing for one as we speak.
correct. But I mean, technically, it would work for him as well. But
Sure.
if we're going on the past tense of it, I would say Andrew Luck.
That stands to reason. It does fit all. It checks all the boxes. I'm just trying to
I think
there's anybody else.
I think Matt Stafford won it, but again, not one franchise.
Two teams, right?
There's a lot of them, but there's
didn't Peyton Manning win, and he's two franchises, right?
Yep.
So
yep.
Okay, so then, suck for Luck, Andrew Luck, yeah. Okay.
Okay, and Yacht Rock Boys, what did you guys have for an answer?
Very similar. Well, slightly shorter conversation, but same thought process. We also checked in with Andrew Luck.
Okay, let's check out those last two clues because you guys are thinking you're oh so smart. Clue number 4. I hold the record for most passing yards by a rookie quarterback. And clue number 5. I abruptly announced my retirement 2 weeks before the start of the 2019 season. Yeah. Both teams again getting their 50 points. The correct answer is Andrew Luck. And you guys did make the whole list. But yes, the other first overall picks who won NFL Comeback Player of the Year awards, Joe Burrow, Alex Smith, Peyton Manning, Matthew Stafford, and Michael Vick, all of whom played for at least 2 teams, except Joe Burrow, who is still playing. Yeah. So, yes. So after the second quarter, we have the following scores. Everybody got the max points in that, so the point difference isn't different, but the totals are. Yacht Rock Boys at 200 and the Herpes Boys at 225.
Let it be known here that Eid and David are the Herpes Boys.
Is this?
I need to make sure we clear.
It's the first time I can ever remember that a team changed names in the middle of a match here.
I give other teams other names.
This happens all the time in recordings.
No.
I'm sorry, is the word herpes not in your team name?
Yeah.
I mean, Yacht Rock Boys, none of those words are in theirs.
That's right. Correct.
All right.
Yeah,
that brings us to halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions pertaining to sports, with each question worth 25 points.
Question 1. Who directed Best Actor Academy Award winners for 2 sports movies in the 1980s?
We can immediately lock.
I'm just here to watch the masterwork, guys.
All right. McDonald greater than McDaniel is checked in. What's worse than herpes? So you guys can talk it out.
We get another clue. No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
I'm new here. I apologize.
I can't give you. There's plenty of clues in there. Just saying.
Oh, is there? Okay.
There's like 3 clues in there. 4 clues. Directed. Hang on. Best Actor Academy Award winners. 2 sports movies. 1980s. Lots of clues.
I can tell you every single person that won an Oscar for Best Actor in the 1980s.
I can't. I'm never going to keep up with Ryan, but I can do most of them, and I can certainly do sports movies. The only ones that the Best Actor didn't come from Chariots of Fire, so the only ones that I can think of would be De Niro for Raging Bull, and Paul Newman got his long-awaited one for Color of Money. I believe both of those were directed by Scorsese. So I think the answer is Martin Scorsese.
Oh, I have less than I those are movies.
Well, I mean, I know somewhere in there Robert Duvall won for Tender Mercies. I know Henry Fonda won for On Golden Pond. Those aren't sports movies. Michael Douglas, I think, won for Wall Street somewhere.
Oh my word! Can we not spend time going through all of the award winners from the?
Okay,
80s?
We'll check in with Martin Scorsese.
Might as well be burped in the microphone. None of that meant anything to me.
What are you, Mason?
And McDonald's McDaniel. What did you guys?
Nope. David took all the flavor text. It's absolutely Martin Scorsese for directing. De Niro for Raging Bull and Newman for The Color of Money.
That's all the flavor text as well. So took your text, my flavor text. It's all out. Yes, both teams get points. The correct answer is Martin Scorsese. So we'll just move on to question 2. What iconic Canadian actor portrayed the dodgeball chancellor in the greatest sports movie of all time, agreed upon by vote of the benchwarmers?
That was it. That's who I thought it was, but I wasn't sure if that was the title. Go ahead, David. Just go. That's it. It's got to be.
Yeah, we'll check in.
All right. What's worse than herpes is checked in. So Michael greater than Michael. What do you guys have?
So I'm really hoping they took the neg bait on this one, but the Chancellor's played by William Shatner.
And what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have?
Wait, what was the bait that you were hoping we would take?
I was hoping you would fall for Chuck Norris as the guy who gives him the final thumbs up.
Yeah, but yeah, no, we knew it was William Shatner because we knew that he was Canadian, not just Canadian, but Jewish Canadian.
Yes, and it's Chucking Norris.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
Yes, we checked in with William Shatner as well.
Okay, and just to let you know, it's Chuck FTG Norris. That's actually his title. Sorry. Yeah, both teams getting points. Correct answer is William Shatner. And did you know that in 2021, Shatner was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame?
I thought you were going to say the Dodgeball Hall of Fame.
I thought you were going to say the Jewish Athlete Quarterly Hall of Fame.
Also good. Yes.
All right, moving on to question 3, the final question in halftime. What actor portrayed Lane Meyer, a high school student who raced down K-12, the highest peak in the fictional town of Greendale, to become captain of his ski team?
That name is ringing a bell.
Wait a minute. Yeah, for me too.
Finally.
Whatever this is, I know it and I can't. And I've seen it
David,
many times.
We can check.
Oh, yeah. Totally right. Yes. We'll check in.
Okay, what's worse than herpes is checked in. So Michael McDonald's greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys can talk it out.
So I don't think it's necessarily a sports movie, which is the tricky part. But Lane Meyer, that name stuck in my brain. And I think it's John Cusack in Better Off Dead. And unless you have something else, Walling, I imagine that's
not unless you can recall the cast of Ski School. That is...
I was really hoping it was going to be a question about Downhill Racer with Robert Redford, which is the best skiing movie. But yeah, we'll lock in with one John Cusack.
Okay, and what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have?
It's John Cusack. I don't have much to go on. It's an underrated movie, I feel, but yeah.
It's a really good one. So yes, correct. It is John Cusack from Better Off Dead. And just to let you know, Ryan, we had to change the rules for Eric Eid. I still think mine qualifies.
Yes, it does.
As sports adjacent, where halftime can be any entertainment question because
I don't care
because of Eric Eid. But yes. I was going to say,
I love how I get thrown on every time. It's my fault.
You're the only reason we changed it.
There's no more questions to ask.
There's a bajillion questions to ask, like this one I just asked. So anyway, Cusack also portrayed Buck Weaver in the movie 8 Men Out. Okay, well, after halftime, once again, the differential has not changed, but the scores have gone up. Yacht Rock 275. One questioning what's worse at 300. Now on to the second half.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Today's third quarter will be Eric Eid's favorite, The Missing Link.
The Missing Link. This quarter will consist of 5 questions with theme-linked answers. The teams will attempt to answer the questions and guess the theme. Each question is worth 20 points. If a team checks in first via chat to the host with the correct theme before the 5th question, they will earn 100 points. The other team can still earn 50 points with the correct theme guess. If neither team has checked in with the correct theme before the 5th question, each team can earn 50 points with the correct answer to the theme after the 5th question.
Question 1. What former NFL quarterback has 6 more children than the number of rushing touchdowns he had in his career?
You can check in.
Really? You don't want to think about that for a second?
No.
I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I would have thought too.
I'm not even going to think about it. That's,
Okay, all right. We're going to get punished for this. We'll check in.
What's worse than herpes is checked in. Michael McDonald greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys can talk it out.
He is working on increasing the average head circumference of Americans by just reproducing big-headed kids. But yeah, a lot slow and lots of kids equals Philip Rivers. So we'll check in with that.
Okay. And what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have?
I hope he keeps having kids so that like that curve that you see at the pediatrician's office for kids' head size. My son had his own curve. He was above the 100th percentile. So if Philip Rivers keeps having kids, that curve will go up higher. So yeah, we checked in with Philip Rivers.
Both teams are getting points. Correct answer is Philip Rivers. Rivers has 9 children and only scored 3 rushing touchdowns in his 17-year career.
You almost have to like actively try not to have that many rushing touchdowns.
I mean, if you're on the goal line, you often get a quarterback sneak.
But he had Tomlinson, he had Antonio Gates, he had Vincent
Sure, but sometimes you just, I mean, Tom Brady, not considered the most athletic, but that guy got a lot of half-yard, 1-yard rushing touchdowns. And he had pretty good weapons usually. So anyway, we'll move on to question 2. What U.S. swimmer won back-to-back gold medals in the 100-meter backstroke at the 2004 and 2008 Summer Olympics?
Does this mean anything to you? Hold on.
You didn't say anything to me yet.
No, I know, because autocorrect's trying to change it.
Okay.
Stop.
Yes.
Jeez.
That's the name. That's the name I'm thinking of. If it's this, obviously, I'm trying to remember. This guy is his name. Yeah. That's got to be it. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. It has to be. Oh God! Every time you say it has to be, I get nervous. I'm pretty sure that happened. That person did that. I think you're right, but I'm trying to remember who did it for the other half of what I was trying to remember. But it doesn't matter. I guess that's true. We could make a case that yes. I guess that's fair. Okay, then yes. Yep.
We can make a case. There's no making cases in trivia.
I watch a lot of Law and Order, so if there's DNA on it, it's pretty sure.
You do realize I'm judge, jury, and executioner, right?
Well, then you should have wiped it clean. All right, we're gonna check.
Hey, what's worse than herpes is checked in. Michael McDonald greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys can talk it out.
Sorry, I'm still typing it out.
Yeah, so I was thinking of I was trying to think of the last or
hey, you know they checked in so you can use names, you can talk.
You're not my real dad, don't tell me what to
do. Sorry, Ryan, I have a bunch of stepkids. I have 4 stepkids, so I'm just used to telling
he's used to pausing it.
It'd be like that. I'm just trying to suss out a theme between the two if I can. If they're right, I could be misleading myself too.
Yeah.
Oh, using the
stall technique on the theme before giving their answer. Interesting strategy.
It's loose, but there's a theme.
Yeah. Bold strategy, Cotton.
Did the other team put in a theme?
I don't know.
Why
are you asking me things? I can't tell you information.
Yeah. Cereal.
Gotcha. Okay, I think the answer feels good.
Yeah, and I was so Natalie or Nate. It was an N popped in my head.
Natalie Coughlin was definitely a U.S. swimmer around that time. I don't know if she specialized in backstroke, but I know Phelps didn't. He was a butterfly guy mostly,
right?
And the fact that the question didn't have a gender in it usually means it leans female. Yeah. And so that just feels right. I can't think of the other like U.S. women's swimming heroes around that time, except like Dara Torres, and she was mostly a relay person. So I think Natalie Coughlin's good.
Yep, I'm good with it. Let's check it in.
Okay. I'm going to have to make a quick modification to my question. So we're gonna start this over, and you guys will answer probably fairly quickly, but we'll see.
We're getting a reread of question number 2. Is that what you're doing?
Yes, you are going to get a reread of question number 2 because
Cool.
yes, there may be more than one answer with the way I had it worded.
Aha.
That was the case David was waiting for.
If what I have for the theme is not the theme, I would just like to say that I am.
That his theme's better.
Well,
his theme is better so far.
All right. So, question 2 in the missing link. What men's U.S. swimmer won back-to-back gold medals in the 100-meter backstroke at the 2004 and 2008 Summer Olympics?
Is a sack of horse. Okay, so it is men. Here's the thing. You had Phillip Rivers and Natalie Kaufman. Doc Rivers and the Celtics won it all in 2008, and then Tom Coughlin and the Giants won it all in 2008. And I think I should get credit for that theme. That's brilliant.
100 points to us.
It has to hold, by the way, it has to hold up for 5 clues. You do understand that, right?
Yeah, and then you could have done the stupid World Series manager and the dumb hockey.
And by the way, Josh, just for the record, when I was talking about what case I was going to make, that was it.
Okay.
I'm so mad. Oh
Sorry.
my god! That was a brilliant theme.
I've never seen Ryan act like this. I don't know what's going on.
Welcome to Saltyville. Population.
Mount Salt right here.
So
Right.
I was so.
if
Walling
either
is the
team,
ma-
if
Walling is the
either
mayor.
team,
Yeah.
if either team wants to, just
No, then if it's men's, then I have no idea who it is.
Okay, but hang on a second, Josh. I think you need to read it one more time because Ryan was busy cursing in the middle. I think you should read it. We'll
we'll read fresh, and then you can.
And spoiler alert: we're going to check in as soon as you do this, just to make it nice and easy. Okay.
Fine. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Take 3. Question 2 in the missing link. What men's U.S. swimmer won back-to-back gold medals in the 100-meter backstroke at the 2004 and 2008 Summer Olympics?
We will check in.
Okay, what is worse than herpes is checked in. Rock guys, you guys can talk it out.
Oh, it would be Natalie Coughlin if it weren't men.
I know. I wish this was about women's.
I don't.
My guess is this is going to be someone we haven't heard of who fits this theme specifically. But it's not Phelps. I couldn't tell you who it is.
The only thing I could think of was that was a no. What I was trying to think of was the guy who was the last leg of that.
Damn it!
But the last leg is
You
always
just look it
freestyle.
up after locking in and realize you're wrong.
No, he sent me something, I think, for Eid. I'm not even going to look at it.
Yeah, don't look.
You said it.
Yeah.
No. I sent it to you after I sent it to everyone. I'm an idiot.
You sent it to everyone.
I'm a bigger idiot.
I mean, there's a typo in it, so maybe that'll confuse them.
Oops. Yes. I'm falling apart.
This broken question is breaking people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think Lochte was too young, maybe? Or no, he definitely did at least like 3 or 4 Olympics, but
Yeah, because Brazil was the one. Brazil was 2012, 2016, 20. And that was
and
the
he
one
was
where
definitely in Brazil because he was being a knucklehead down there.
Yeah, I know. I was like, all right, let's go backwards from knucklehead years. So, I mean,
I'm out on this. I have no idea.
Well, we can try Ryan Lochte, and since that's the only swimmer name, and we'll check that in.
Okay, and what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have?
We were trying to think of swimmers that might be backstrokers around then, and we came up with Aaron Pearsall.
Is that the answer you're going with?
Oh, sorry, and that's what we checked in with.
One team will be getting points. The correct answer is Aaron Pearsall. Pearsall also won gold medals in the 4x100 meter medley at the same 2 Olympics, and a gold medal in the 200 meter backstroke in 2004. And he won silver medals in the 200 meter backstroke in 2000 and 2008. So the theme-linked answers thus far are Philip Rivers and Aaron Pearsall. Moving on to question 3 in the missing link. What 4-time Gold Glove center fielder led Major League Baseball in stolen bases in both 1991 and 1992?
Just go with it. Let's just get
All
it.
right.
So
All right. Yeah, fair enough. We'll check in.
Okay, what's worse than herpes is checked in. Michael McDonald greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys can talk it out.
Do we have to? We're trying to.
I mean, I guess you don't have to, but in about a minute, you're going to get buzzed, and we'll move on.
So
Nobody's getting buzzed. Not in this family.
yeah, Dad. Yes, stepdad.
I'm getting buzzed right now.
It's
Nixon, Grissom, DeShields. I think it's a little early for Lofton. I just think Lofton is like 90. I'm trying to think of.
I mean, he was in there in the early 2000s too. So
Yeah.
if you're talking fast center fielder, that's all my brain really came out.
Yeah,
with
right,
baseballs.
right. Nixon was super fast. Willie McGee was really fast, but I don't think he was leading. And
If we're looking at it, if we want to play the metagame from like a pure theme perspective, Nixon could be something presidential. Marcus or Marquis could be something royal. You could do something with Delano or DeShields.
yeah,
You're pretty sure it's between Grissom and DeShields?
yeah, those are the two that I don't think Nixon won many Gold Gloves. So
That's why. I think just from a pure metagame aspect, then I think Marcus or Marquis Grissom would probably be easier to fit in with a theme.
all right, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm
So-
at C here.
Yep.
So
all right.
yeah, we'll check in with Grissom.
Okay, and what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have?
This theme. Oh, sorry, you're asking what we had. I thought you were asking what was worse than herpes. David, go ahead, because I didn't know who this was.
Yeah, we checked in with Marquise Grissom also. I that's when I was playing a lot of fantasy baseball, and I loved Marquise Grissom. Loved him. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the right answer.
Well, both teams are getting points. The correct answer is Marquise Grissom. Ricky Henderson, a left fielder, led the American League in 1991, and Kenny Lofton, a 4-time Gold Glove center fielder, led the American League in 1992. Grissom's son, Marquise Jr., was drafted by the Washington Nationals in the 13th round of the 2022 MLB draft. So the theme-linked answers thus far are Philip Rivers, Aaron Pearsall, and Marquise Grissom. Moving on to question 4. Who was the first player to win the Art Ross Trophy, Maurice Rocket Richard Trophy, Lester B. Pearson Award, and Hart Memorial Trophy in a single season? Look at that, Ede. 2 hockey questions in my game.
Caught off guard. This isn't cool.
What, that you might get 2 hockey questions wrong?
That there was 2 asked, and I'm just like, I come into these games thinking there'll be 0, and if it is, the answer is like Wayne Gretzky, and then I can just move on.
I threw you off with that first one, huh? Sorry? Question mark?
We can check in.
Okay, what's worse than herpes is checked in. So Michael McDonald's greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys can talk it out. Or sit there looking quizzically.
No,
Befuddled.
I'm trying to find a theme.
So Ovechkin or Crosby?
I think it's is it the Rocket Richard? I think it's the Rocket Richard Trophy is fairly new, which would limit this to like the late 80s or forward, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And Hart is MVP, and Ovechkin's won a bunch of those. He's also led the leagues in goals a ton of times. And it just seems right.
Ross's points, right? Or, like total points?
I think so. And Pearson's like being a good person, I think it is. Which would not
it's Lady Bing, isn't it?
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Being a nice person on ice.
I think it's right. I feel like he's definitely won them all.
I'm Hockey, not my
Let's just go for it.
suit. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm good with it. All right. Alexander Ovechkin for positive points if we get it right, or negative points, giving us positive points if we get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Okay. Anyway, what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have for an answer?
So the Lester B. Pearson Award is no longer an award. I mean, it's still an award, but it was renamed. It's now the Ted Lindsay Award, and it's for it's basically the MVP, but voted by the players, where the MVP, the Hearts, voted by whatever. Rocket Richard has been given out since like 98, 99-ish. And we had it narrowed down to 2 guys, but I think Crosby didn't win. I think his Rocket Richard was like after 2010, but yeah. So anyway, I know Ovechkin won them all in one season. I was all except for, was it the Lester B. Pearson? I wasn't positive on. So, but then David figured out something, and then we went with Ovechkin.
All right, both teams will be getting points. The correct answer is Alexander Ovechkin. Ovechkin won all 4 awards for the 2007-08 season. As Eric Eid said, the Rocket Richard Trophy has only been given out since the 98-99 season, and the Lester B. Pearson Award was renamed the Ted Lindsay Award in 2010. So good job on that. So the theme-linked answers thus far are Philip Rivers, Aaron Pearsall, Marquise Grissom, and Alexander Ovechkin. Question 5 in the missing link. What is the name of the second son of the 1968 Olympic heavyweight boxing gold medalist?
Okay.
We could check in.
What's worse than herpes has checked in. Michael McDonald is greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys can talk it out.
I would imagine, based on their giggle and timeline, that it would be George Foreman, and all his kids are named George Foreman.
George Foreman. Except for the girl, who I think is Georgina, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, that was my thought as well as soon as that came up. So now we just got to think of a theme.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you guys want to give your answer for the question, and then we can worry about
Yeah,
the
sure.
theme?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Then
Yeah, you want to just go ahead and check in? We will.
I would imagine it's, George the Third or whatever, probably.
Yeah, I guess that's right. We just need the. Do we need the numbers at the end of the name, or can we just say his name?
Well, I'm asking for the name of the second son of this person, so I would.
So then it would be the third, right? George Foreman the third. George.
Yeah.
Third Foreman.
Okay.
Oh my God! I got the.
There it is.
Yes.
Okay. What's worse than herpes? What was your answer to question 5?
We had George III. We'll be back too.
Both teams.
Shut up, shitty white liberal Broadway nonsense.
Wow.
Okay, let's kind of move through some. Man. Matt or David will get to edit this. That's all right. Not a problem. Both teams will be getting points because the correct answer is George III. And did you know it's estimated that George Foreman earned an estimated $200 million from his grill endorsement deals?
Good for you, George Foreman.
And the theme-linked answers are Philip Rivers, Aaron Pearsall, Marquise Grissom, Alexander Ovechkin, and George III.
I was waiting for how long for it to click. I'm like, here's a reason he's asking for the second one.
I know. I feel silly not getting it, but
I still wouldn't. Honestly, if David wasn't here, no clue.
Don't worry, Ryan. You'll be back. You'll see.
You stop it. You're not special just because you like the whitest story in history. I'm sorry, man. Let me tell you, the trivia world after Hamilton came out was a nightmare because people made it their personality. They thought they were so cool for it. It's so annoying because it was like all American Revolution trivia all the time.
Just to let you know, Ryan, I don't think I'm cool for doing this game, so don't worry.
I think you are cool.
But not necessarily for the theme.
I think it's a very clever theme.
Well, thanks. So you want to give me your guys' answer to the theme?
Oh, figures from the American Revolution and or characters from the hit Broadway musical Hamilton, produced by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Wow, that was a very thorough answer. And what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have a little bit sooner than
Characters from Moana. Oh, wait, no.
First names of characters from Hamilton. I was thrown because you did Aaron first, and that was kind of throwing me a little bit. But yeah,
Aaron, I didn't do Aaron first.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh no, you did Philip first, right?
You did Philip first.
Oh, so I wrote down Aaron first. You're right. So Marquis, of course, is Lafayette. Yes. Alex. Yes.
And Lin-Manuel Miranda, very good friends with Weird Al Yankovic.
He is. I thought my fifth question was kind of clever. I enjoyed that one.
I thought it was great. It was.
Especially once you realized what the theme was at that point. And yeah.
Josh,
all right.
Josh, wait, before you move on, what's our team name again?
What's worse than herpes?
Okay, just so you know that whole round.
I don't know if your teammate agrees with that. Just saying.
I always appreciate the clever missing link, so I'm going to go against my teammate on this one.
All right. So what's worse than herpes did get the 100 points for the theme, but Michael McDonald greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys did get 50 points for the correct theme. Because yes, it was characters from the musical Hamilton. So we had Philip Hamilton, Aaron Burr, Marquis de Lafayette, Alexander Hamilton, and King George III.
No idea what you just said.
I didn't think you would. That's why I was when you guys decided, I was going to have you teamed up with Ryan initially. And then when you got teamed up with David, I thought you're just as fine there. David will probably be able to figure this one out too. I think Eric Walling would have figured this. Don't worry, you were going to be with somebody who could have figured it out.
I thought about it when you put Marquise up there because I'm like, there's really only like two that I could think of, and one is from Hamilton, the other one is Desaad.
I mean, when Ryan was talking about the meta game and about Marquis, and I'm like, oh my God, they're going to get there. He's going to get there.
Well, so I saw Grissom, and then all I could think of was like, are these CSI characters? And then,
no, you went the wrong way.
I know.
I thought it was facial expressions when I saw Grissom come up. I'm like, wait.
No, that's the the purple guy from McDonald's.
No, that's
Grimace.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I even said, and then being with David for a missing link was wonderful because he's sending ideas immediately, and I'm like, I couldn't tell you any of that. And then I landed on hats just because I saw Rivers, and I'm like, I put a picture of you and Eric Walling on Facebook the other day with both river hats on. So I thought maybe.
It's the grossest hat.
Actually,
that hat was so sweaty.
Answer number one was Philip Rivers, and I immediately sent to Eric Eid, is this going to be famous Tonight Show hosts? Because it was going to be, I was trying to think of how many you get Harry Carson after you did Joan Rivers, right? So anyway.
Well, with Rivers, I could have maybe tried to go down the bastard names from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's true.
I would have.
I was thinking members of Weezer too. I would have. Well, it's weird to start off with the lead singer, but all right.
All right. Okay. So after the third quarter, we finally have a differential increase in the score. Michael McDonald is greater than Michael McDaniel is at 405, but what's worse than herpes is up to 500.
I think I'm going to do that for the next missing link. I'm just going to start with the obvious answer.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Throw everybody off. We're like, wait.
He would do Disney and start with
the
Mickey.
Banana in the tailpipe.
Right, the banana in the tailpipe edition of Missing Link.
That brings us to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys were paying attention. I'm guessing probably not. But leading up to the missing link, dealing with early American history, I did have a theme going through all of the answers from quarter one through halftime. If you look at the first names, we had George, John, Thomas, James, John, Andrew, Martin, William, and John. Those are the first 14 first names of the first presidents of the United States.
Look at you, Mr. Sneaky Pants.
So if you had caught on to that early on, it would have helped you with some of the questions. It wasn't obvious. I've never done kind of a rolling-ish theme.
Well, it's clever.
There's no Obama Johnson questions coming up that I'm going to have to worry about.
No. So,
Right.
But that does lead us to our categories for the fourth quarter, which are the following. Question 1 is Washington in reference to the NFL. Question 2 is Adams in reference to the Olympics. Question 3 is Jefferson in reference to #TooMuchMinnesota. And question 4, Madison in reference to college athletics. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers. Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. Question 1, in the category of Washington, who is the player that scored the most career touchdowns in the NFL that was born in the state of Washington? Hint, he did go to college in his home state, and Marcus definitely believes him to be a, quote, legend.
We'll check in.
Okay, what's worse than herpes is checked in. Yacht Rock, you guys can talk it out.
The only thing about Cup is that he hasn't. So Marcus is legend. He did. I think So Eastern Washington.
Okay, I feel like it's one of those. He came to mind because he's one of those players who, like, he's the only person associated with that school, kind of like Jimmy Garoppolo is like Southern Illinois or something, and that's what stuck in my mind.
Yeah,
He's scored a lot, but he's very recent, so I don't know if there's some legend we're missing or.
So if we're doing the meta here, everyone who's ever played for the Seahawks is a quote unquote Seahawks legend. So that narrows it down to, everybody who's ever played for the Seahawks. Yeah, can we phone a Marcus?
It would be a very short conversation.
It would be very short. Like, why are you asking me this? The answer is X.
There'd be 2 reasons it would be that short. Just letting you know. There might have been a verification on legendary status.
The only thing I can think of is Cooper Kupp, and I think it might. He's scored a lot, but it might be too recent. Like, my football knowledge is limited, but like the Seahawks haven't had anyone stick around for like a super long. Well, they could have done it for another team too, but would
Jerry
somebody
Rice
who
play
just
for the
played like
Seahawks?
a season or two there be a legend? By Marcus standards, maybe. But
Yeah. Didn't Jerry Rice play for the Seahawks right before he retired?
Right. Let's take the L on Cup.
All right, let's do it. We'll check in
We'll
with.
lock in with the incorrect answer of Cooper Kupp, who at least went to school in Washington, we think.
For how many points?
All of it. YOLO. Ride or die.
All right. And what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have, and what was your wager?
So we weren't sure.
Go ahead.
I was going to say we weren't sure where they were born. I don't think we had much of a beat on that, except for that I had vague memories that Corey Dillon was born in Seattle, and of course he went to University of Washington, and that's what we checked in with. And right after we checked in, I remember that Jonathan Stewart was from Seattle or from Washington, but he committed to Oregon, so that was a big deal. But I think, we ultimately checked in with Corey Dillon for 100 points.
So it's
answer.
Yeah.
Well, David's like, there's not many. Like, we went to running backs immediately, and there's not many. So he's like, well, how many did he have? I'm like, the number's not important because number 2 is going to be like Chris Polk or Bishop Sankey, and it doesn't matter. So, go ahead.
Yeah. And then you guys started going down the wrong road of thinking about the Seahawks rather than focusing on the Huskies, which that's why I made the comment when Eric was like running backs from University of Washington. I was like, whoa, dude, you're giving lots away. Because it wasn't somebody who played for the Seahawks, but it was a prolific running back for the Washington Huskies. The correct answer is Corey Dillon.
Good answer.
Corey Dillon scored 89 touchdowns in his NFL career. Second is Jonathan Stewart, who, as David pointed out, went to Oregon with 58. And you guys can feel a little good because currently third is Cooper Kupp out of Eastern Washington with 47
Oh,
and counting.
but never mind.
What?
But to be considered a Marcus legend, you would have to have gone to Washington. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no other. Like, where's Chris Polk? He is like 3, and he was like the second greatest Washington running back of all.
I didn't ask. I only asked for clarification on Corey Dillon being a legend, and I got a absolutely 100% one of my faves.
You mean Garden City Community College legend Corey Dillon, because he did some community college time here in Kansas.
Okay, that's where I went first before heading over to
Get the SAT up.
Get some college credits so you can get into
Yeah.
UW. Well, the difference in points got a little bit wider there. We don't need to talk about it. Let's move on to question 2 in the category of Adams. British boxer Nicola Adams won back-to-back gold medals in the women's flyweight boxing at the 2012 and 2016 Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
What American won back-to-back gold medals at the same 2 Olympics in women's middleweight boxing?
I got nothing. I literally have nothing to type to you. I have nothing to say to you. I have nothing.
She is.
I figured that was going to be the case with it being a woman-centric question.
Women's boxing, Josh.
It's the Olympics. I thought you pay attention to the Olympics. You watch the Olympics.
Listen, I didn't know there was women's boxing in the Olympics until right now.
Oh, yes, you could. Oh, I guess no and assume are different. You had to have.
No. I mean, maybe I did, but no, I didn't. I assumed. I don't know.
That's all right.
I feel like I don't.
It's okay.
Wait,
You know what?
did
And it's also okay if you guys get the question wrong. It'll make the game more entertaining. Except Dave will probably come up with the answers.
I'm sure he knows. It's probably Chester MacArthur's great-great-granddaughter.
Chester MacArthur.
Chester MacArthur?
MacArthur.
Most people president.
Most people don't know his middle name was Mick.
Chester MacArthur was part of the Ronald McDonald
yes.
clan with the Grimace, right?
With the Grissom.
Mayor McCheese, Grimace, and Chester MacArthur.
Secretary Fry Guy. You guys don't know about him.
Oh, and the Hamburglar. Don't forget about the Hamburglar.
We'll check in.
All right. Michael McDonald's greater than Michael McDaniel is checked in. So what's worse than herpes? David, you can talk it out to yourself because apparently your teammate is going to be no help because it's a woman question.
There you go.
Layla Ali.
No. She's
no.
She's heavier.
I'm tapped.
She's heavier than that. I can picture this woman.
Heavier? Whoa, hey. I don't know a lot about women, but the one thing I do know, age and weight, we don't talk about.
Well, it's funny you say that because now that I've made the weight
but
comment,
she's professionally heavy.
I have to throw in. I can picture this woman because I think she won the first one when she was still a teenager, like she was 16 or 17. I could picture her. I just can't think of her name.
Okay.
Smith, something with an S.
Sure,
it's
Smith.
It's not Smith, but it's something with an S. And
Slappy.
Check the briefcase. Let's see.
Samsonite.
No.
I was way off.
I'm not going to get it. It begins.
Swanson.
No. It begins with an S.
Yeah. So
I know. So does Swanson. Yes, that's true. I'm honestly, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to tap.
Oh, you know what? Here's a good S name. Schuster.
It's John Schuster once again. It was very problematic and controversial of him to do it, but he did.
He was 40 in 2001. What year was this? Oh, so he's like 45. Never mind.
Wait. It is an SH name, though. Do you know any other SH names?
Schifrin. I know that's a woman.
That's a skier.
Oh, never mind. Scott Shaw.
Okay, so
I give.
I'm going to need something quicker than you guys coming up with every name in the.
Yeah. No, I give. Sorry, we're not going to get this. We bet 100 and we don't know what this is.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry.
We're going to check in with
Schuster.
Judge Reinhold.
Judge Reinhold.
All right. And Yacht Rock Boys, what was your guys' answer and wager? Oh, by the way, what was your guys' wager for that one? Did you say?
I did 100.
Oh, okay, good.
We also bet 100, but you were close. It is SH. I think it's Clarissa Shields. Because she's like the only woman to have like held all the titles at the same time in women's boxing. There's some little stat I remember seeing once, but
spoiler alert.
I think it's Shields, Clarissa Shields. I'm just gonna lock in with Shields because that's what you do in trivia.
All right. Well, one team is getting their points. The other team is losing their points. The correct answer is Clarissa Shields.
Well done. Well done.
Shields is the only boxer in history, female or male, to hold all 4 major world titles in boxing: WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO, simultaneously in 2 weight classes.
Oh, it's in 2 weight classes. Okay.
So she holds all 4 in 2 weight classes.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Is she related to Delino?
No. He
Oh,
is
different name.
De
Mick
Shields.
Shields.
Oh, okay.
And his middle name is not De.
Former Royals pitcher James.
White Sox legend James Shields.
Delino DeShields could also probably be in the McDonald's gang. I mean, he sounds like a good name for that. I just point that out.
All right. Well, score update. We are back to the same score we had leading into the fourth quarter, 500 to 405. So let's move on to question 3 in the category of Jefferson. Al Jefferson was the key player that the Timberwolves received in the Kevin Garnett trade. After 3 solid seasons in Minnesota, he was traded to the Utah Jazz for 2 first-round picks and what Greek-American center who played 1 season at Ohio State?
We're going to check in.
Okay, what's worse than herpes is checked in. Michael McDonald greater than Michael McDaniel. You guys can talk it out for about a minute and let me know your answer and your wager.
Well, we were just about to check in ourselves. I knew the guy's name was like Costas or something because that's just like every third Greek guy's name. And then the other team mentioned something about initials, and that made me think that it had distinctive initials, something like KK. And then Walling, I think, ended up pulling it.
Yeah, the Greek name that popped in my head as you said KK was Costa Kufos. So that's what we're checking in with for 100 points.
Okay. And what's worse than herpes? What did you guys have?
We checked in with Kufos also. And yeah, we thought his initials might be KK, but we checked in with Kufos also for 100 points.
Well, both teams will be getting their 100 points. The correct answer is Costa Kufos. And during his 1 season in college in 2008, he was the NIT MVP.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Prestigious.
All right. That brings us to the final question of the game, question 4 in the category of Madison. As most people are aware, the University of Wisconsin is located in Madison, Wisconsin. In 2021, the Badgers women's volleyball team won their first NCAA championship by defeating what perennial powerhouse university?
Watching Eid throw his pen was great.
Well, since I had that theme of like presidents' names, there weren't going to be any women early on. So you get a couple in the 4th.
David will check in.
There, see?
Let me
get it here. Let me send you what I think it is, and then we'll just go there.
Okay.
What's worse than herpes has checked in. So Michael McDonald greater than Michael McDaniel. For the last time, you guys can talk it out. Let me know your answer and your wager.
One of the joys of having a child beginning her journey as a volleyball player is learning about other like women's volleyball teams. So perennial powerhouses, Nebraska, Stanford, Penn State, always really good. The only thing that I'm thinking of is, so here's my only thing, Ryan. I think that Texas lost and then came back and won this year because I thought I remembered reading about that.
But it's asking 2021, not 2022.
Right. So I think they might have lost in 2021, but they definitely won in 2022.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought. I mean, if it's women's volleyball, it's always Nebraska or Stanford.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Texas, Nebraska, and Stanford. It's obviously one of those 3. We both thought of Nebraska immediately, which makes me want to lean towards that.
All right. I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, they are definitely a perennial powerhouse. They are the sort of Midwestern perennial powerhouse. So I'm good with
it's
that.
either them or Stanford, and I don't know, Midwest bias, I guess.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'm just guessing Nebraska because we both thought it. Like, we both have it typed out there. You said the only other one I could think of was Nebraska, and I said it's going to be Nebraska or Stanford. So,
and I'm pretty sure we're still out of reach. So,
they're going to beat us anyways. So,
all right, let's do Nebraska. If we're going to lose, we're going to lose with the Midwest. So let's go.
Yes, we are.
Let's go with Nebraska for 100 points, unless they get it wrong and then get us enough to win.
All right. And what's worse than herpes? What was your guys' answer and wager?
So I had vague memories of actually Matt Doherty talking about this, and I don't remember why, but I'm pretty sure so it actually doesn't matter because we said the same thing, but I'm pretty sure it's Nebraska and we bet 100 also.
Well, both teams did get that correct. It is Nebraska. So both teams got their 100 points. Nebraska's program was founded in 1975 and is one of the most decorated in women's volleyball, with more wins than any other program and 5 national championships. They have been ranked in every weekly poll since the introduction of the AVCA national poll in 1982 and has spent more weeks ranked number 1 than any other program. So
that's very impressive.
Somehow seems not as impressive to me that they ranked. There are probably only like 29 teams that have 29 teams, so like just being top 25 out of 29.
I think you're probably downplaying the number.
You are definitely downplaying the
universities that have women's volleyball. That might be the number of universities that have men's volleyball, because there aren't that many who have men's volleyball.
Yeah, that is true. You're a good point.
I was
David being a sexist. That is a new one for us on this podcast.
Eads rubbing off on it.
So this game has come to an end right at the same time the Bengals-Ravens game came to an end, and here are the final scores. Michael McDonald, greater than Michael McDaniel, finishes with a more than respectable 605 points. And our clipboard captains of the game, who will be receiving the coveted Doug Flutie Award with 700 points, is What's Worse Than Herpes?
Doug Flutie.
So, yeah. Oh, ouch. Ryan, is there anything that you would like to say before we call it a night?
No, I'm just very thankful I got to come on and hang out with y'all. It's been a minute, again, almost 2 years. So it's always fun to see you guys. I need to remember to do this a little more often.
Well, you are always welcome to come on. And if you wanted to write a whole game, you could actually host a whole game if you really wanted to do more trivia, sports trivia writing.
As I've said to Matt before, if any of you are ever in a pinch, just message me and I'll probably have something to you within 10-15 minutes.
All right. Well, we'll definitely take you up on that. So, Ryan, thanks for joining us tonight. And thanks again for being the question writer and host of our BTP tournament. Super appreciate that, and you do a wonderful job with that. On behalf of Eid, David, Walling, and myself, we'd like to say thanks for listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, and until next time, we'll keep the bench warm.
I should have Ryan write some questions for me, because there'll be like women's questions in there and nobody will see it coming.
Honestly, that would be really funny. I could do that.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes!
Into deep left center for Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at Benchwarmers TP.
Meth capital of the Midwest, sir.
Is it?
What's the
Rochester.
capital of the Midwest?
Independence, Missouri.
Oh, well, good
Rochester,
for
New
you.
York is the STD capital of New York, so you would think New York City immediately. No.
Oh, well,
Rochester.
I'm guessing it's a per capita thing.
No.
just total.
Just wash your hands when you're in Rochester, all right, people?
Or maybe just avoid Rochester.
That too. There's nothing to do there. That's fine.
Rochester, New York, we're talking about. Rochester, Minnesota is lovely.
There's a dinosaur barbecue. The end.
Rochester, Minnesota is where the Mayo Clinic is? Is that right?
That is where the Mayo Clinic is.
Yeah.
The Mayo Clinic or the Mayo Clinic?
Mayo.
Oh, okay. The Mayo.
World leaders in treating STDs, by the way.
Oh.
They're the world leaders in treating lots of...
I made that up.
I'm not sure it's STDs, but they do.
We just have to start making facts like this at the end of every episode.
Oh, man.